On the island of Sodor, most of the diesel engines there are very friendly and very hardworking. But Arry and Bert, the two diesels who worked at the scrapyards, were very not friendly at all. They enjoyed the sight of seeing many unessential steam engines being cut up for scrap and other materials not needed. They also appeared to have a strong dislike for steam engines who are still used on the island of Sodor. Whenever they would be seen delivering scrap for them, they would say, "What on earth is an old useless teapot doing here? Keep your old funnel out of here or you're in the scrapper's line too." The engines knew them wisely and said nothing as they puffed away. One night, after their work was done, they headed off to the sheds and were dozing nicely at the moonset. "It's times like these that I've seen way more steam engines in the line of scrapping," Arry chuckled to Bert. "And with the more of them gone, the more of us coming to their place," he implied. Just then, the yard manager walked up. "I've just received a message from the other railway that a line of scrap is needed to be taken here. You two ought to take it." The two twins smirked sinisterly. "Oh, we'd be glad to be of service," they chanted. "Good, but no dawdling out of you two," he said sternly. Soon the twins were setting off for the other railway. "I wonder if the other diesels there are getting work done efficiently," Bert oozed. "Or the sight of those steamers kneeling before us," Arry guffawed, as they headed off through the night. When they arrived at the other railway, they found things the way they seemed. The same lonely scrapyard was there, filled with rusted engines. "Like a quart of oil," growled Bert. "Couldn't be better," agreed Arry, as they trundled along. Then suddenly Arry stopped. "What's wrong?" asked Bert, as the wind began to kick in. Arry gasped suddenly. There, in the siding next to him, was a diesel engine. It looked very rusty and very old, just like a steam engine would be. "Diesels never become that old," Arry said. He began to feel nervous. Then suddenly, he spotted another diesel next to him. It too was very rusty and very old, as the same one next to him. "They're on that siding that those useless teapots should be in," Bert said worriedly. Then they saw two men chatting at once. One of them was pleading desperately to the other. "Please understand," he begged. "This engine can be useful." "Sorry, mate," said the manager sternly. We'll have to get this heap of junk out of the way and make new way for the next generation of engines." The twins gasped. "We're getting replaced too?" Arry asked. "I'm getting as old as steam engines too," Bert cried. They were so scared, they didn't speak to each other and collected their train for the scrap yards. Later the next morning, James was shunting in the yards when he saw Arry and Bert quivering in the sheds. James, despite his suspicions of diesels, asked them what was wrong. The two diesels quivered and told them all about what happened on the other railway and what they had saw. James's eyes widened. "Well," he said, "I didn't know diesels had the same place as us when we're considered useless. But at least we have one thing in common." "And what's that?" the twins asked optimistically. "We are both proud to be working on Sir Topham's railway." The two could hardly agree.